interview I did earlier with GK Pillai, former Home Secretary, because he was Home Secretary at a time when there was the question of the ban on the PFI coming up. And I began by asking him that when you were Home Secretary and when the the proposal to ban PFI came up, what exactly happened then?
Yes, it did come up. The issue of banning PFI did come up during when I was Home Secretary. We did a comprehensive analysis of PFI's functioning, their constitution, what the messages they send, what is their, and all the activities that they did. A very comprehensive survey was done by all agencies. There was, of course, certain amount of pressure for banning the PFI. But looking at all the evidence that finally came on board, and in consultation with the Law Ministry of that time, we felt that the activities of the PFI at that stage were what we would call as legitimate within the normal bounds of a democratic state, and that any order by the government to ban PFI at that stage would not stand the test of law.
Right, but what was the grounds for considering the ban in the first place, and why did those grounds fall short, according to you, according to the view then?
I think it fell short because we could not find at that stage any concrete evidence that the PFI had called for violence, had called for any armed struggle or armed actions against the government or any organization. It was by and large taking up issues which were in the public domain, primarily concerning minorities, Dalits and others. And they were making what we would call as democratic protests within the Constitution of India. And therefore, we felt that even though at many cases you could say they were like borderline cases, but you always give the presumption of doubt in the absence of any specific evidence that they had given calls for violence or the armed overthrow of the Indian government and so on.
But what about this business of violent attacks or of holding training camps and all of that? Did that not in itself constitute grounds for a ban, as it is now?
I don't think so. I think in having training camps or carrying out drills and so on, a number of organizations in India do it, and it is to be linked to finally what you see in terms of the objectives of the organization and what the directions they give to the rank and file, what they need to do. So long as the directions and everything are within what we call as within law and within normal rights of democratic protest, this is allowed in a democracy. And that was what as I said, it is a 2010-2011 decision that at that time there was not enough evidence to justify a ban.